Oh, that would have been perfect for AS the crunch.
Oh yeah, what the?
Let's re-record it. Hold on.
All right, hold on here. Let me. I'll get you cranked up here.
Do your Spanky's pizza.
This episode's brought to you by Kool-Aid Jammers and also Spanky's Pizza and ASMR. That's still Spanky's Pizza, so nobody's confused.
Are you sure your friend that likes the ears doesn't need a little? I could really punch it up for him.
Oh, no doubt. ASMR Pro with ears. That is perfect. That is great. Ah, yeah, that's right. On today's little edition of My Life or the Van Dyke Ditch, don't spit out the breadstick. What the hell?
It caught me off guard. I forgot what we were calling this at all.
I don't know. Have we actually agreed on any of the names?
No.
I don't know. We're going to have to agree.
We're just going to call it something different every single episode.
Would you rather have this life or in my hand? This is our new podcast. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That last comment does not accurately reflect the level of professionalism that we have on My Life podcast. And I want to apologize for that if that has offended you. You can also go fuck yourself.
We're here to speak the truth.
Damn right. Our truth, as we experienced it.
Say it loud, say it proud.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
And then retreat in shame. Proof that not everyone gets equal share of the gene pool. They're all dead. Burnt down after a strange mopping episode.
Her father's gonna kill me.
He said, well, it was an accident. How can you get in trouble for an accident? And I was like, well, welcome to my house. That's everybody's house, right? That's yeah, we're good? Okay, good. All right, we're all on the same page. And my kids at the time were so fucking cute.
Yeah.
I mean, they really were.
You're not lying.
Grandma Lois says, cute in the crib, homely at the table. Hey, Ryan, that sounds terrible. Why would you share that story? Why did that bring you joy? First of all, you're listening to the wrong podcast. But second of all, because it does. Okay, I don't have to explain or justify myself to you. So anyway, just shut up and listen to the story. Can you let me finish? Quit interrupting. Such a sarcastic prick. God, he's great. I do have diva energy.
You really do.
It's a gift. It's a gift.
I bet you take it down a notch, princess. Feel far superior, sir.
Well, I'm glad that's the reason and not all the other reasons you should feel superior.
Oh, we could make a list.
Oh, let's not. We don't.
I see you got a pen there and some paper.
Let's not. You know what?
Okay.
You're so superior. But
it's
you
a
can't
big
figure
list. You should turn that page if we're gonna.
Yeah.
Bitch had receipts. It's all about me. It's the Sandra Show.
That's the new name.
I'm a big girl now.
Talkspace. It's therapy on your time. All right. If you fuckers don't become a sponsor at this point, I would apologize, but that's, in case you haven't figured it out, that's just who we are by now. So there's no need to apologize for us doing us.
We're here to speak the truth.
Damn right. Our truth, as we experienced it.
Say it loud, say it proud.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
And then retreat in shame. All right. So, well, let's start off with what's important. Okay. So, we've already told you we got two parents, and that's great. But let's talk about the real star of what we're talking about here. On Good Friday at high noon on April 9th of 1982, a child was born. A truly great child who is really going to change shit with this family. Not the world. Let's not get crazy. But still, I mean, to say being born on Good Friday at noon, that's pretty fucking amazing. Not gonna lie. Good Friday, not Orthodox Good Friday, unfortunately. When my mom went into labor that night, shit you not, full moon. I am a complete Kanye West song. Just want to throw that out there. I'm amazing.
And the Lord and the pagans came together.
Exactly.
Said, we will anoint this child with good fortune.
Or fortune, at least. Maybe not good. Not entirely bad, but mostly one or the other.
Fortune cookie fortune.
Yes.
It's all up to interpretation. however you decide to take away and apply it to life.
Absolutely. Oh, that reminds me, I got a really passive-aggressive fortune the other day. I mean, I know it's completely unrelated, and I'm not actually going to apologize. I thought I took a picture of it. Maybe I just snapped it. Oh, well. Anyway, it really messed with me for a little bit. Because it was like, you're a good person. And I'm like, what? I don't know. I was like, open up the bucket that says stick with your wife. And then there's other stuff like this one I got. That I'm like, that's fair.
So this fortune that he handed over, you have at your command the wisdom of the ages.
That's right. I was born at high noon on Good Friday on a full moon. That's right. Command of the ages.
Oh, but the learn Chinese line, their word of the day is Taiwan. It's pronounced Taiwan.
Yeah, I was very confused by that. I was like, learn Chinese, Taiwan. I'm like, apparently I don't have command of all the knowledge of the ages, although I could have figured that one out.
I said as he waited with bated breath.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's me. I know you're impressed, as you should be. Next up was proof that not everyone gets equal share of the gene pool. Our brother David, he was born in 1984, 2 years after me. We were almost Irish twins. And is that still PC to say? Can I say Irish twins?
I say Irish twins when I refer to my sister and I.
You should.
So
yeah, that was an oopsie-daisy.
Picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies.
Yeah. Oh, so anyway, yeah, David was born in 84, and then Christina was born in September of 87. And then her Irish twin, Sandra, March of 89. So fun. By the way, what I just did right there is prove that men can remember dates. Just so everyone's out there, okay? My brother's birthday is April 7th. My one sister's September 26th. And Sandra here is March 17th. And I even know the years. So, men, no more fucking excuses. Remember some dates. They also make Google Calendar, so fucking tighten up the game, bro. Anyway, back to it. So, I'm not going to say anything about, like, me. I don't think it's important for me to tell any stories because who fucking cares? We kind of cover them elsewhere. But, David, what can we say about our lovely brother?
Well, first, let's talk about his birth story.
Oh.
And that is probably going to contribute to the remainder of what we have to say about him, good and bad.
Yeah, so, look, I love picking at my brother because he's my brother. And that's what siblings do. You know, there was 4 of us. You know, frankly, the gene pool was used up between Sandra and I on most days. Christina got some good points out of it. But that's just kind of how it is. David was born with an umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, and he lacked oxygen for, well, apparently not long enough to kill him, but definitely long enough where he's a bit slow sometimes. Also, that creates problems later on, too, with impulsive behavior and some other things that really become the real issue. If David resolved the impulsive behavior thing, that'd be great. But again, you know, these are things that are outside of his sphere of control, you know, as well as influence for the most part. So that's kind of important. Anything else we need to cover about David? Yes, tell me more about Davina. But you can't guess what I called him as
your favorite nickname for him that tormented him for years.
I know. If he just would stop getting mad about it, I would have stopped. I would have came up with
That's all it came down to.
It was. I mean, I would have came up with a different nickname that bothered him, but I'd have stopped calling him that if he stopped getting pissed. You know, because I'm a good sibling. It's my job.
Yeah, off the bat, I think that kind of covers it. Certainly, like you say, like the impulse control, and certainly, things will come up later about why that became an issue.
Yeah. And, you know, you wouldn't have been around for it, but all right, so if you're going to say, Hey, Ryan, that sounds terrible. Why would you share that story? Why did that bring you joy? First of all, you're listening to the wrong podcast. But second of all, because it does. Okay, I don't have to explain or justify myself to you. So anyway, just shut up and listen to the story. Can you let me finish? Quit interrupting. So Brett was over here because it was one of the rare times he was allowed to come over here because, you know, his parents wanted to make sure he was only having good influences. And so he only got to come over here once or twice. Anyway, we're outside in the front yard playing baseball. I don't remember if we were using a tee or if I was pitching, but David was standing behind Brett. Brett was batting, and Brett really dug in because he was going to smack that fucking ball across the street into the Walls property. And unfortunately, what ended up happening instead was when he went back to swing, he caught David's front teeth so hard they may have flew backwards through his throat and his spine down the hill. I'm not sure, but smashed his front teeth. So, and he was old enough to have permanent teeth at the time, so we had to get caps. And that was the thing. But anyway, when that happened, the initial reaction of his eyes kind of going looked like they were going in and out of focus, to start seeing a little bit of excitement on his face, to full blown, like he's waving his hands around like a helicopter, getting ready to take off, screaming like a banshee. And I'm like, damn it, Brett, you just got me grounded. Again. Damn it. You said, well, it was an accident. How can you get in trouble for an accident? And I was like, well, welcome to my house.
Not wrong.
This is not an 80s sitcom where, all right, let's play some soft music and have a learning moment. That's not how this shit works, bro.
Bob Saget comes in.
Yeah.
Small hand on the small of the back. Listen, kiddo. Soft music playing.
Oh, yeah.
We knew you didn't mean to hit Michelle.
Yeah. This was not, it was a music bed. I'm going to use this one because it's all I got. What was it? Hey there, guys. You know, as the big boys in the yard, it's important you look out for the little guy. And in this case, you let him down. We can't do that again, all right? So in the future, you two got to work to keep him safe and make sure he stays out of trouble. Remember, he looks up to you. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. What was going to happen is exactly what happened. Ryan, would you please come inside for your ass whipping? Ryan, please come inside for your ass whipping. I don't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was also, Ryan, we just got the bill from the dentist. Come back inside for your additional ass whipping. Ryan, we just got the bill. This will be going to collections. Come inside for your additional ass kicking. So, I mean, that's everybody's house, right? That's, yeah, we're good? Okay, good. All right, we're all on the same page. So anyway, that brought me joy. Not the ass kicking, but the him jumping around like, waving his hands. That brought me a lot of joy. I don't know that it helped his teeth feel better, but it was sure fun to watch. Anyway.
What are some good things you have to say about David? I will start. So.
Okay. See, I got plenty.
So I never had huge expectations from David when I was younger, but part of that was because it was all on you, right? Mm-hmm. Like you were the one taking care of us. Like you were basically like our second dad, whereas David was like my actual brother. Like he's in the same pool that Christina and I are in, that we don't really share any responsibilities. We're just there making things worse for you.
Yeah, that's kids too.
But his undiagnosed autism shined its brightest in his guitar playing, which I don't want to make this sound like a past thing. He's still a talented guitar player, and also while yo-yos were a thing popular in the 90s. That was I remember there was like a team of yo-yo people that came to the Grand Haven Kite Festival.
Yes.
And that was like his inner awakening about like I can do that. And he bought a Duncan yo-yo at one of the booths, and he learned so many tricks, and he was so fucking good at it. He could have been on that traveling circus of yo-yo folk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He could have been on the yo-yo team traveling to local middle schools and high schools.
We could hand him, maybe that's what I should get him for Christmas. Be like, you need to teach Dylan, which is one of his girlfriend's children. How about you teach this to Dylan? Like, show him a skill that will keep him preoccupied. And it is a skill, because I certainly can't do it just off the cuff. He was always like the jokester, as in like always trying to make a joke. Because you were naturally funny.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to bring up the rear with like an actual like joke, start to finish story. Often fell flat, but he tried his best.
It was a blast growing up with him. I mean, we did all kinds of dumb stuff. I mean, I make fun of him obviously because, he can be a bit slow sometimes, yada, yada, yada. But that's also about comparatively speaking. I mean, I'm 2 years older than him. So he was always going to be less mature. And you know what? Fuck him. I am smarter. So whatever. But we always had fun. And he'd let me do dumb shit. Like, hey, it'd be real fun if you took your blanket and you sat on it and you go down the stairs. That'd be fun. He was like, you think that'd be fun? I'd be like, yeah, dude, I do it all the time. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I'd never done that shit. Because I wasn't sure if I'd break my neck at the bottom because there's a big fucking wall.
Right.
But he tried. Anyway, he did break the wall. He did I can't remember if it was his foot or his head. Doesn't really matter. Hit the bottom of the drywall there and made a good dent. And we said, oh, yeah, it's dangerous. Damn it, David. Why didn't you wait till I finished? I told you I always put blankets at the bottom of the stairs. And so we slid down the stairs for a while. We got in trouble for that. Told not to do that anymore. So our parents decided there's only one responsible thing to do. Get us a Nerf gun for the two of us. But not a real gun. So we think we should grab a rifle and shoot one another. They got us a Nerf bow and arrow.
Those were awesome.
Oh my God. So we had a game we played where one person would stand on the landing at the bottom of the stairs and the other person would jump around, like dodging between furniture and stuff. And you'd try to shoot him. And we played that. And we also brought in Sandra and Christina on many occasions. Christina was less entertained by this. She liked trying to shoot people, but then she'd be like, I don't know how it works. Pretending like her favorite color is clear, and being stereotyped. Anyway, but it was fun. And no, whatever. I was like, hey, you think we should go sledding down this hill? I know that we barely made it across the flat ground because, it started melting for the last 2 days and then it just flash froze last night and we're just walking on ice. I was like, you think we should still go sled? And he's like, I like sledding. And all right, he didn't say it like that, but whatever. Anyway, we went, man, both of us right down the hill at the same time. And we landed in that pond.
I believe it.
Yeah. On the other side of the single wide house of dreams, down at the bottom of the stair.
Are we going to talk about the neighbors down the hill?
Oh my God, the neighbors from hell?
Should they be included in this episode at all?
Oh, probably.
So let's preface this. Hold on. Let's finish the kids first.
Oh yeah. All right. So no, David, a lot of fun. David was really great. It's just, when he got older and into partying, it fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really caused a lot of problems for him.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to do a lot of the things you were doing.
Oh yeah.
And his brain just isn't built the same way.
No.
It just processes things differently, including drugs.
Yes.
And it has affected him long term, whereas you, I'm going to say it hasn't.
No, probably not. But also, like...
But you knew when to stop.
That's it. Like, I could sit down and be like, all right, I got, quarter ounce of weed or whatever, and just be like, all right, cool, I got a buzz. I'm good now. I can go about my day and do whatever. And David's like, the bowl's empty. We got to pack it again. Yeah.
And that's where that impulse control comes in. It's just like he just couldn't help himself.
No, I'm like, dude, you're already drooling on yourself. Do you want to drool out of both sides of your mouth? I don't understand what's going on here. But that was him, you know. It's always been him. He obviously gets that from his dad. So,
well, yeah, that was going to be my other thing, is that also with a family history heavily of drugs and alcohol, like, obviously you didn't get that gene.
No.
Whereas he absolutely did.
No, absolutely. You know, as far as things go, for our family, I won the genetic lottery overall.
Yeah, you did.
One
bastard.
overall. Yeah, you're not wrong. One overall, oopsie-daisy. But other than that, my genetic lottery is friggin' solid. So, pretty happy, you know, as far as that goes. I didn't get some of the shitty genes, so I didn't get the psoriasis either. I don't know how I dodged that.
That's the one thing I don't have.
Yeah, I was
knock on wood.
That's like the one thing you didn't get. So good work there, Christina. What a special girl.
So first things first, the apple of our dad's eye
Yes.
could do no wrong.
Impossible.
Just like absolutely never ever. Yeah, that was his little girl, and we all knew it, including his other little girl.
Yeah. All right. So check this out, right? So you're like, well, yeah, but I mean, being the favorite of somebody who's absent and distant and all that, well, you know, what benefits does that get you? Okay, let me tell you what the fuck that gets you. Okay, so Christmas is coming up.
Oh no.
Christina wants nothing more than a Barbie house thing. I don't remember what it was called.
It's a Barbie house?
Yeah.
I remember someone built her a Barbie house.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Couldn't afford it.
Barbie mansion is probably what you're thinking of.
There we go. Couldn't afford it. There is one built for Christina.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't want her to go with him.
Oh, of course not.
That would have broke his heart.
Yeah. His little girl without on Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, do no wrong. This is the same guy who I was like, oh, man, where'd my dad go? I should go to this strange farmer's market in Muskegon Heights.
We're going to the farmer's market.
Oh, no. His van
Again,
has no gas.
A merch plug. Muskegon Farmer's Market.
Yes. Muskegon Heights Farmer's Market.
But instead of like a bushel of vegetables on the front of it.
Oh. Yeah, what's a bushel of crack? Oh, shit. It was a fun time. But
just a single spoon on the front of the shirt.
Oh, we do. We need to have Radipine spoons.
Yes. You got
for
it.
your coffee.
Uh-huh.
For when I need a calm down, bitch.
And your drug of choice, we have a regular spoon for heating things up, or we have a very tiny spoon for very specific. It's like a Where's Waldo? Where's it at on the shirt? We don't know. We print every single one different.
Oh, sounds amazing.
So anyway, our sister.
Oh, hold on. Talk space. It's a very important. Nothing is more important than mental health. All right, I'm joking. All right, so yeah, our sister, do no wrong. According to Dad, Mom was a bit different.
Grandma was very different. That I will say though, that is the only place that she caught the most hell out of all of us kids. Grandma Van Dyke came down on Christina like a fucking hammer. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, I'll never forget. We, Mom and Dad were still married, and we went over to Grandma and Grandpa's house for a barbecue or some kind of lunch thing. The weather was nice out, and so the neighbor that lived next door was the Klumps. Well, on the other side of the Klumps was Barbara, which was Michelle's mother. So we knew her, and Michelle ultimately became our Aunt Michelle. We'll talk about her later on down the line. So in a sense, we are related to Barb. Barb had a pool. Barb also had a large, the hell kind of bird is that? Either way, a very large parrot, the pink one that's got like the big crest on top, that's like the size of a small toddler. So she had one.
Annoying.
Yeah, right. So she had things we didn't have at our house. She was also very kind to us, whereas our grandmother was just like, don't even fucking speak. Don't even come in this kitchen and ask for Pop-Tarts. I'll fucking kill you. So, so we went over to Barb's house because the Klomps weren't home. And Christina we're looking for something to do. And we're like, well, if Barb is home, we can go look at her weird-ass bird and go say hi to her. So we go over there. And Christina at the oldest is probably 8. So we're over there, and Barb very innocently asks, are you guys hungry? And we're like, well, yeah, but I wasn't that hungry. So I was just like, I'm fine. But Christina's like, yeah, I'm quite hungry because we're setting up for a barbecue. We haven't eaten yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so Barb just makes her she gets out a bag of rolls and some deli ham and some cheese, a little mustard, makes her a little baby sandwich. Christina eats it. We're like, okay. And then we go back to Grandma's. And Grandma's like, Christina, set the table. She's like, Sandra, you help her. And Christina's like, just putting the plates out. And she's like, well, I'm not that hungry. Grandma says, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I ate a sandwich. She's like, where the fuck did you get a sandwich? Well, she said, where did you find a sandwich? Because our grandmother does not swear. No. At least back then she didn't. Now she's given herself much more grace to let her express herself on how she really feels. We may or may not have influenced that.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, our very prim and proper dresses like the queen every single day, even to just get the mail. We're talking like a jacket that matches her shoes with a matching pin that matches her clip-on earrings. Like, she was always done up.
With makeup.
With makeup. And so she says to Christina, she said, what do you mean you're not hungry? What do you mean you had a sandwich? Where? And she's just like, well, we went over to Barb. She made me a sandwich. And she just started hollering. She's just like, did you not know that you were sitting down to eat in 15 minutes? What is wrong with you? Why would you do that? She's just like, we are sitting down to eat. You've ruined your dinner. Like, it was she was just screaming at her. Christina is crying. And I'm like, I only didn't eat just because I happened to not be hungry while I was over. Like, I was like, this isn't a priority to me right now. Otherwise, I absolutely also would have been full from a little baby sandwich. Yeah, that was definitely one of those first instances that I knew that Grandma treated Christina differently than she treated me. She didn't favor me, but she didn't favor me with a whooping either.
Yep.
So there's that.
No, you're absolutely correct. Meanwhile, for me, I could have walked in and be like, I want a Pop-Tart. She'd be like, better eat your dinner. I'd be like, absolutely, I'm fat.
I will say, though, that was the house that we got snacks at.
Oh, my God.
And
that's the house I didn't know Pop-Tarts existed outside of her house.
Yeah. So she has, her oven is built into the wall, and there are 2 or 3 drawers underneath it. In the very bottom drawer had Pop-Tarts in it, blueberry Pop-Tarts, and also those wafers.
Windmill cookies and the strawberry or vanilla wafers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes they had chocolate.
Yes.
But I guess if there wasn't chocolates, because I ate them all. But so we actually had like snacks over there that we were allowed to eat if we asked, and Christina was a little blindsided by this situation. Oh, and there was also a separate incident that we're a little older. We're over at Grandma's house. It's just Christina and I. And we wanted to go see if Beth Klomp was home so we could go play with her. But we were not allowed to leave the house without asking. Grandma was in the living room watching the Tigers game. And Christina was just like, well, I want to go ask her if we can go over.
Commercials.
Yeah. She's like, I want to go ask her if we can go over to Klomp's. And I was just like, well, just go ask her. And she's like, no, I don't want to. She's like, you go ask her. And I was like, just go in there and ask her. She's like, no, I can't do that. So she was like legitimately scared. But I, like you say, I knew better to wait that there was a break in the game. And then I sidled up to the armchair she was in because there was, Grandpa's recliner and Grandma's recliner that faced the TV. And so I just slunk up there and I was like, hey, Grandma, can we go over to the Klomps? And like there was this big what to do to even ask to walk 100 meters to go to the neighbor's house we got all the way over there and the Klomps weren't even home.
I want to juxtapose this. David and I were allowed to walk from Grandma's house to the Anderson Farm Market for penny candy.
Oh, wow. Was that the one next to the KKK house?
Correct. That's who owned the KKK house.
Should we tell
Anderson.
that story?
Oh, we will be telling that story. I can assure you. Yeah.
So our family got to witness what was basically the end of an era be opened up time capsule style, and to witness the pandemonium that happened after the fact that this was discovered and what ultimately became of it and why that was controversial. And we just sort of took a stroll on over there to see what the hubbub was about. And holy shit. I'll let you tell what happened, how it was found, what the deal was. So go on.
I believe it was the kids going through the house.
I thought it was the wife that discovered it.
It may have been the wife. I know he had passed, but I couldn't remember what order it was.
Maybe she discovered it first and didn't say anything, but then it was the kids that...
Because I can tell you right now she knew.
Yeah.
There's no
right
question. She wasn't allowed to go into... whatever. Anyway, she wasn't supposed to go into that area of the attic. So there's a spot. Supposedly it's hidden. I don't know. I've never been up there.
So their house was directly next to the farmer's market. They shared a parking lot.
Correct.
So it was, very unassuming looking farmhouse right next to the fruit stand.
Exactly. And inside, I believe it was upstairs in the attic, if I remember right, they found an additional room.
False wall. It was straight up Scooby-Doo shit. Yeah.
Except for some monsters are real. So inside was a huge amount of Ku Klux Klan memorabilia. Now, I'm not saying he was collecting it like he's like, I like Dukes of Hazzard, so I collect all their cars. No. I'm saying these are proper Ku Klux Klan.
You know the contents of the Jim Crow Museum at the Ferris College?
This is where it came from.
This is where it came from. It transferred from one room to a whole building.
Yes. It was packed in there. He was the secretary of, I don't know what you call it. Is it a nexus of hate? What do you call a Klan lodge or whatever? I don't know what they call it. Anyway, the fucking stable of racists. He was the secretary. He was the last secretary for Newaygo County. And here's the thing. He was a really, 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 really good racist secretary. Really good. Because he kept all the membership cards and dues payments, receipts.
Bitch had receipts.
Bitch had receipts. He could murder 63 people and he wasn't going to jail because bitch had receipts.
Uh-huh.
Of one sitting sheriff, 2 or 3 judges, most every prominent member of the Newaygo County community at the time. And if you think that's bad, meeting notes, when they'd have meetings when they're like, hi, let's talk racist over coffee. He took the notes. He kept all of that. The 1920s Klan, before it collapsed, I believe it was in the early 30s, they did some rebranding and imaging. Their reputation was real tarnished, on account of them getting the shit kicked out of them in the South. They need to do some rebranding. It's not enough just to hate black people. They just hated everybody that wasn't a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. They hated WAPs, which is, by the way, one of their terms. It means without papers. It's a Southern European that showed up. They don't have papers, right? They extended their hate, of course, to Jews, specifically targeted certain groups that, by the way, they would now consider white. Mm-hmm. So Italians were particularly targeted. Greeks were particularly targeted. Obviously they already considered Arabs non-whites. We still separate those today in the census, so why not? That was the reason. So
real quick, in my government class, there was a girl who was, I think, a year younger than me in high school. And her great-grandfather kept the Fremont's KKK calling card, like a little business card that says, "You've been visited by the KKK," tucked in a screen door after they burnt a series of crosses on his lawn. And she brought that to government class as her show and tell. Passed it around. We all looked at it. So, I mean, as if the memorabilia wasn't enough, here was concrete proof that this was a thing in Fremont.
And by the way, how dumb are these motherfuckers? They're like, all right, Cletus, we lit 6 crosses on fire. You think they're going to know it's us? Well, I think we should leave a business card, don't you think?
Like fucking DTE. We stopped by. You weren't home. Yeah.
I mean, what the actual fuck? So anyway, that was a thing. So we were allowed to go to racist Joe's house to buy penny candy when he wasn't going to serve us anyway. But Sandra and Christina couldn't go next door because they were girls.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if we're just being honest, that's what the deal was. And boys, you know, Grandma's like, they can do anything.
Are we going to talk about what happened to the memorabilia?
Well, it got auctioned off. Well, originally, they weren't auctioning any of it off.
Right.
Okay. They tried to donate it to the Fremont Museum, which is a museum that you're probably like getting on Google right now and you're like, oh, I see it right there in Fremont, California. No, wrong Fremont. Try again. Oh, you found Fremont, Idaho. Nope, not that Fremont. Try again. Let me help you out. It's not Fremont, Ohio either. It's Fremont, Michigan. You see the page? You see the website for the Fremont Historical Museum? No, you don't, because it doesn't exist. It never has. It was an idea, and they tried donating it to open up. Though they did have a building that burnt down after a strange mopping episode, which maybe I'll have to tell that story sometime. I was not there. Okay? In case the police are listening, I was not there, and I'm dead serious. Swearing almost all things holy. But I really wasn't there. But my friends were. Anyway.
I remember this day so vividly because it was so odd. Grandma and Grandpa were having a yard sale. And so we were all just sitting outside waiting for people to stop by. It's like the middle of maybe June. Mm-hmm. It's real nice outside. It's sunny. And there's a lot of traffic on that main road. But today...
Yeah, Grandma's going to piggyback the Klan sale.
Today, that wasn't her original intention. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, we walked down there to see.
Correct. We're just like, wow, there's a lot of traffic today, but none of it's stopping here. But it keeps going that way, and then eventually the cars are now parking on the side of the road so far back to that point that we can now see cars parked on the side of the road, like way down. We're like, what the hell is happening?
And again, we're about a half mile away.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we see van, like news crews. And we're like, oh. So we're like, if all of these people are parking here, we're like, okay, so it's not a car accident.
It's a carnival.
we're like, okay, so it's the deal. So we put a little BRB sign out front and walk down there. And I remember riding piggyback on my dad's shoulders. And we walk all the way down there. And we see hordes of people at the market. And we're like, what is the deal? There's these big white tents. There's tables inside, like yard sale tables.
What a great irony.
And so we just kind of get lost in the crowd and start shuffling through the tents like everybody else was doing. And I remember at this point, Dad had put me down and either he or Mom was holding my hand. And they basically said, like, do not let go of me. They're like, and they had a death grip on me, but still they're just like, do not let go of me. And I remember I was just tall enough that my chest probably came to the table so I could see what was on it. And I don't remember everything, but I do remember the Grand Dragon robe. Mm-hmm. And I do remember the giant plaque that had all of the names etched in brass on tags, the judges, the cops, the township officials. Like I probably couldn't read then, but I knew it was this huge plaque of names, and it wasn't until, I'm much older, they're like, oh, this is what this was. And I'm like, well, I remember the plaque. I remember the robe. I remember all these people, and I remember a lot of them being real pissed off.
You want to know why they were pissed? You know why all those important people showed up? To buy it. To destroy it.
Gotcha.
And they found out the rules of the auction. Everything was on display, but universities got first bid and last.
Okay. I was wondering because because I knew that eventually it ended up at Ferris because they were going to open a Jim Crow museum. And then all of a sudden they have all of this shit.
But that's not what started the riot.
Oh, there was a riot.
It almost. I'll tell you why at the end.
Okay.
I'll give you the deets on that.
Okay.
But it's fun.
Maybe that's when we got out of there.
But because people were getting fucking pissed. That's why Mom was like, you need to hold my hand. People were mad because they found out they couldn't buy their family's name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just remember even as a child, I could like feel the tension in the air and it scared me. Like even like mob stuff that's like a downtown Grand Rapids, Black Lives Matter, things like that. Like I've never gone down there because I don't want to be involved in what it ultimately becomes.
Yeah.
Because the people that, they start it because they're trying to.
And then assholes show up. And,
yeah, correct. And ruin the whole thing. That's what I don't want to be a part of. But I remember as a child being in the middle of this crowd of people that just, I knew shit was hitting the fan. Like I could feel the electricity in the air and I was like 6. And to this day, I remember that feeling, that fear that my parents were scared, getting scared. And I'm like, what? This is just a tent of, I mean, I'm little. I'm like, this is a tent of stuff. Why are people so, what is happening? I didn't understand it. I just remember how I felt.
People's white guilt was up for auction.
You're not kidding.
So, wow. Yeah, that's, that actually is where I got my start in my interest in history.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was, again, this guy was old and cranky. I mean, he was sweet to other people, I'm sure, but
yeah,
that's the duality of humans. But I just remember at the time find it so compelling that something from that fucking crotchety ass ancient bastard's youth could bring so much emotion today, that day. Cause I mean, we're talking, we're beyond 60 years later at that point.
Yeah.
That something could bring that kind of emotion. And I'm like,
it was a bizarre thing to say,
became real to me.
Right. To say like, okay, this history is real. It's here. It's now, the Band-Aid's been ripped off and the rawness is back right now in 1996.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And, it's weird to say I was there. I was in a sense part of this very like this historical thing that happened in Fremont that was covered up forever. And now like it got exposed like, oh my God, we were there. We were at the auction. Like we saw the things. It's a very weird thing to look back and be like, oh, was I part of this history? You
were. And you were also part of the real fun. The real reason everybody got extra mad. Because they found out that none of the records would ever go up to bid.
Oh.
Because you know what? I'm not going to censor this. I'm just going to flat out say it. Some snooty cunts at the Fremont Public Library, and fucking God bless these women. God bless these women. Said they would take all of the records and put them in their collection for the public and would refuse any amount of money to hold any records back from being in the full public view. Exactly. I was like, so if you go to the Fremont Public Library right now, they're all digitized. You can see them all in their complete glory, unedited, unredacted. It doesn't matter if your last name's Gerber, Converse, whatever. That name is there. There is no amount of money that could buy off the library. And that, by the way, is the real freedom of speech right there. Those are the real protectors of the freedom of speech, are your public libraries. As crazy as it sounds, you got to remember, these were the only people at the time after 9/11 fighting the Patriot Act, saying they would not respond to subpoenas by the government for what books people are reading or put people on watch lists. I mean, and here they were, this is pre that, right? So it's just post Cold War. And they're like, no, we don't care. This is a matter of principle. We'll close our doors before we let you buy silence and buy censorship. And that is what got people livid when everybody found out that none of the records were going up. for auction. So you could not buy your family member's Klan card. You could not buy the meeting notes that had your family member's name in there and how many people they recruited. So, yeah. And by the way, and it kind of exposed something else too, me being a history nerd, was not only did they change their branding about who they hated and, made it more inclusive of who they hated, to expand to a broader audience. Disgusting, right? They changed their recruitment methods.
Okay.
Which I know sounds really stupid and boring, but here's the deal. Like when you recruited somebody, if it costs like $5 or whatever back then for your annual dues, whoever recruited you got to keep like $2 of that.
Okay.
So you got paid to recruit. So the more it was the original pyramid scheme.
I was going to say, is this an MLM?
I mean, I don't know if that's how Amway got started, but I mean, it was an MLM.
My neighbor just retired from Amway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He may or may not.
Hold on. We here at the Fuck My Life podcast just want to say Amway is in no way affiliated to our knowledge with the Ku Klux Klan in any way. It is not legally considered a pyramid scheme. It is, however, an MLM. With that being said, what is being stated is for comedic value only and should not be taken as anything legal. Anyway, that may be where they got their ideas from the Klan.
Well, I was going to ask you, is hashtag girl boss really just hashtag red dragon?
Yes. It sort of is after seeing that uniform.
Yikes.
Oh my God. And it's like, why is it the boss that's the only one that gets to walk around wearing something they don't have to constantly worry about getting dirty? Because everybody else is wearing white. And if you're riding around on a horse, it just seems like that'd be fucking shitty to keep that clean. I mean, it'd be like, Cletus, need to keep your damn dress clean. What's going on here? We're over here burning crosses and scaring people and leaving DTE calling cards. And you can't even, look at your dress. It's all frayed up and dusty. I don't know if that conversation ever happened, but I'd like to think it did.
Would it be too tasteless to say hashtag girl boss, hashtag Grand Dragon as merch?
That would be tasteless and disrespectful, yet at the same time, I'm thinking, you know what? I can see it. Or Yas Queen.
No.
That would be tasteless. Oh, all right. Well, now that we're going to hell, and I'm sure glad we have an edit button.
All proceeds go to Michigan's top historical black colleges.
Oh, without a doubt. Or to the Fremont Public Library.
Ooh, there we go.
Actually. Kind of digging it.
Might have a Christmas drive ahead of us.
No doubt. Oh my God. But yeah, the tension was real. You could feel it in the air, and it was crazy.
So, to wrap this up, talk about what ultimately happened with that house. Do you remember?
No.
Okay, so I guess this is my turn.
Yeah.
There was a book that was released in 2015, I think.
Yeah, I have the book.
You have the book.
I do, signed by the author.
You motherfucker.
That's how I roll.
But it is about the history of Newaygo County, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly about Prohibition, isn't it?
Correct.
Briefly mentioned in that book, they talk about the Ku Klux Klan running through Newaygo County. And they said, matter of fact, this address and this house right here still, the house still exists. So that auction happened, and then, or the looky-loo happened, and then nobody moved back into the house after it got cleaned out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, who's going to live there?
Right. So it basically just became known as the KKK house. But I mean, it stood abandoned since that day up until this point. And so in this book, they briefly mention, oh, by the way, this very house in Fremont that still stands, this is where all this stuff took place. They found all this memorabilia. It's now the Jim Crow Museum at Ferris, blah, blah, blah. Well, so that book was released, and 3 weeks later, someone burned the house down. In the middle of the night, someone, because that was the big what to do about on the news. It ended up on the, the local news channels and all that. They're oh, by the way, this book talks about Noego County's, not so squeaky clean history. This is kind of fun. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, it talks about the Ku Klux Klan house in Fremont too. Do you remember where this happened, kind of thing? So that's how it ended up in major media. And so I think some local kids are like, oh, I'm gonna, do this town a favor and get rid of this house off the map. And so it was basically just an arson incident. And the house was a total loss. And as much as like I realized their heart was in the right place, but also the person who, one of the children, yep, that's the book. What was it titled?
Everyday Klansfolk, White Protestant Life in the KKK in the 1920s Michigan, by Craig Fox.
Oh, well, there you go. And so yeah, that book came out, and they're like, promoting the book on the news, and they're like, it's a local author. This is what it's about. And people are like, oh, this KKK house still stands in our community. Like, we can't have that. So even though the house is now devoid of those objects, and the children who ultimately inherited the house, they didn't move in, but the house was like being used as storage. Like, it still had a bunch of their shit in it. So these poor people that had nothing to do with it ultimately.
I thought the house burned down after D&D Roofing bought the property.
No.
No? Okay.
No. So yeah.
First didn't do it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But so yeah, that's what ultimately became of that whole thing.
Wow. That makes sense. I knew it burned down. I knew everybody was mad, but I guess that makes sense. And that was also the same time they completed the KKK exhibit at the library. I don't know. I'm still good with it. Though I will say this, we're an hour in and we haven't even got to you. We've went through 3 kids.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's
maybe
I don't know. I said an hour for reference, but after editing, let's be honest, I'm probably not going to cut out any of the things I shouldn't have said.
So do we want to just like zip through the rest of this and wrap it up, or do you want to like edit that into a separate?
We'll feel it out. This might become 2 episodes, FYI. You might get a part A and a part B.
We went on a little bit of a tangent.
That's what we do. So that was Christina. We somehow talked about our lovely sister Christina, and then got to the KKK
immediately.
Look,
she was the bluest-eyed, blondest child of our family.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of us were definitely the milkmans, and
she would have looked adorable in that oversized robe. Hood falling over her little eyes. She's so cute.
No doubt. But then there's Sandra, who some of you have heard from before.
That's me.
That is. So yeah, that's Sandra there. Not to spoil too much about our next proper episode, or I don't know what order we're doing this in, but there's also the disease with what I say, disease with
causes dis-ease.
Yes, causes dis-ease. It's not a crack house, it's a crack home. And yeah, you had obviously some a troubling birth. Not for you, you didn't know. But for everybody else,
it's smooth sailing for me. I'm fine. Oh, y'all are squawking about all the time.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And the truth is, it's always about her. Oh my God. Every time things are going good or like something good happens in my life, she's like, I'm dying. Pay attention to me. And I'm like, oh my God, here she goes again. So
can't share that spotlight for too long.
Yeah, no. It's how you get a tan. So we'll obviously talk more about Sandra, and you'll also hear more about me, I suppose, unfortunately. Up next is the second part of We Are Family. Stay tuned for the next episode. Can't wait to see you then. If you like the podcast you just heard, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, check us out at patreon.com/pessimism and Pop-Tarts. There are special benefits for members, such as ad-free listening, early access, and free and discounted merch for members. There's a plan for any budget, from tent campers to those of you MFers throwing around RV money. You can also get the latest updates on our website, pessimismandpoptarts.com. Whether you're a patron or just like the show, please tell your friends. And if you hate the show, you know what? Tell your enemies, because frankly, they sound awesome. Anyway, until next time.
losing. But why can't you just be cool? Why do you have to lose it? You're losing it, you're losing me. Refuse to use, I choose.